Are you ready for the confusion? Are you ready for the calamity? Are you ready for the disarray? Are you ready for the hysteria? Are you ready for the triumph? If you're not ready for the first 4 questions, why do you think you deserve the 5th?
Are you ready? Are you ready to conquer that? Holy fucking shit. What have we got here, you might be asking me? You might be saying, who is this man? Why has he positioned himself in front of a bookcase with some very well-known literature? And why is he asking if I am ready? I mean, who is this man? What are we doing here? Well, this is Ernest Krim. Now, if the name doesn't ring a bell with you, right? Maybe the name Jessica Lynn Sanders does.
So if I hit her, what happens to me? What happens to me? What happens to me? She knocked my phone out my hand. She calling me a nigga.
Does that ring any bells yet? Because that was Jessica Lynn Sanders. And the man behind the camera was Ernest Krim with his wife. Now, this incident happened back in late July of 2016. And the whole story got a fair bit of coverage. Now, the original clip is only about 45 seconds long. Now, you might be saying, well, why are we revisiting this? Hasn't it already been dealt with? Yeah, she got charged with a hate crime and whatnot, but it's more the narrative that I'm interested in that was published about this whole incident. Now, to understand the narrative, we have to understand the clip, right? That 45-second clip. How did that clip come about to begin with? Now, Ernest and his wife wanted to play beanbags. Or with the fucking beanbags. I don't know. Now, this group with Jessica Lynn in it hoarded all the beanbags. They took them all, right? And so Ernest's wife went to go pick up a beanbag, and then the bitch attacked. She went berserk. She just started screaming profanities, and that's how it happened. Now, I know, you're telling me, no one just attacks someone because they pick up a beanbag. I'm in the same boat as you, friend. Now, I'm thinking some sort of discourse happened in between picking up that beanbag and then what happened in the clip. But nonetheless, none of that matters. What we're about to look at is an article or a video that was made by a channel called Newsy.
Your cure? A daily dose of Newsy. We filter the nonsense, giving you concise, fact-filled news stories with a fresh, energetic viewpoint. Bam! You're now the most informed person in the room.
Damn, from that intro, you'd think they do a good job. You know, they wouldn't spin a story, you know, out of control, would they? They wouldn't take something out of context, would they? No, of course not. Of course not. So let's get into it and just have a look at what sort of stuff Newsy puts out.
If I were white, there would be no way possible that I would sit in company, any company, in my family, and have somebody called a nigger.
It doesn't seem like everyone sees eye to eye with Maya Angelou. In 2016, we've seen the N-word hurled at political rallies.
Our president has divided this country so
Within police departments,
text messages recovered by detectives investigating a former San Francisco police officer show slurs against African Americans,
and even on a pageant queen's Twitter profile.
I was just kind of embarrassed, ashamed, and just amazed that I actually at one point in my life thought it was okay to use that word, because it's never okay.
Jessica Sanders also seemed to think it was okay. She used a slur at least 12 times to Ernest Krim and his wife, Cassie.
Now, watching that last clip, you'd look at it and you'd say, Jessica Sanders is an absolute racist. What a monster of a person. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm not defending Jessica Sanders either. She's an absolute grub of a person. Now, what I do want to make a point of is how far they are blowing this story out of the water right out of the gate. This is the intro scene. A whole lot of clips that have nothing to do with the attack in general, except one thing, racism. And racism is the underlying theme to this whole video. Now, I haven't explained who Ernest is yet. You know he's the victim in the attack, but you don't know who he is. Now, I'll get to that in a moment as we progress through Newsy's video some more.
I did not do anything. My wife did not do anything. That lady immediately walked over and began to yell at us in all types of vile language. It's not like you were beat down. It's not like you lost a family member. It's a type of emotional distress that we've never really felt before.
How does it feel when a white person calls you the N-word?
It's a type of emotion that I haven't really felt before. Oh, fuck, how rude of me. I answered your question for you, mate. Wait, I'll let you answer it. Sorry.
So when a white person says it, and of course it's different in each situation, you know, but you feel as if somebody knows a secret about your past and they're trying to humiliate you.
But then he goes on to say this.
The problem isn't the word, it's the system that protects white supremacists and racists and allows them to continue to do this without being punished at all.
If she sincerely apologized, would you reconsider?
No.
What do you think she deserves?
I believe she deserves the maximum sentence for felony hate crime.
Did you hear that, guys? The problem isn't the word. It is the system in place to protect these white supremacists. That's his real gripe. And then he goes on to say that she deserves the maximum sentence for a felony hate crime, which is 7 years in prison and a $25,000 fine. That is pretty damn severe for someone who lost their shit. He wasn't attacked, he was spat on, sure, but he wasn't hit, he wasn't beaten, he wasn't, maimed or anything like that. She lost her fucking shit. She spouted some fucking filthy insults at him, and she deserves 7 years in prison and a $25,000 fine. That's absolutely absurd. Absolutely absurd. I mean, if we're actually to look at Ernest's definition of a white supremacist, who else fits under that umbrella? Anyone who loses their shit at a black person, right, is a white supremacist, and they deserve the maximum penalty.
What do you recommend people do who hear the N-word used as a derogatory racial slur?
Now, that's a loaded question within itself. What do you do if you hear someone using the N-word as a racial slur? The question wasn't what would you do if you saw someone being racist, right? The question is specifically catered to a demographic of people. Now, Ernest answers this question by saying you step in, you say something, you say, hang on, that's not right, you can't be saying things like that, right? That's fair enough. If he didn't go on to say this.
We need more people that are going to be accountable on all ends. We're talking black, white, Latino, Asians, but until everybody else, especially whites, come together and say, yo, this isn't right.
So he says that we need more people accountable for their actions. You got your black, your white, your Asian, your Latino, but especially white people need to come together and, really fix this racism problem. Let's wrap this up and come to a conclusion. So if we were to flip the script there and replace the white woman with let's say a black woman and Ernest with a white man, I don't see this story getting as much coverage as what it did. And the way Newsy and the other media outlets that picked up this story and absolutely ran with it is absolutely disgusting. Because when it comes down to it, what the story actually is a couple who tried to take a beanbag from another group and a woman flipped her shit. That was it. That was the story. And the only reason this got any coverage whatsoever is because she said the word nigger. So to cap this off, I'd just like to say to Newsy, I think your reporting is absolutely deplorable. And Ernest, buddy, harden the fuck up. Alright everyone, I'm out. Good night. I'll see you later.
I'd just like for you to meet my squad. I've got EC3 to my right and Flo Rue to my left. And we just want to share a little something with you about voting. Y'all ready? Y'all ready? Yeah. Ready. Vote, 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 vote.